Do you like to play games? In my slideshow, I'll be talking about the history of video games. There's a lot to it, so my name is Garen, and let's get into it. What you need to know about video games. We'll be talking about the history of video games, the equipment, technology used with video games, and the competitions that go on now with current video games. So let's get into the history. When video games were created, history. These are three images of one of the oldest consoles ever created. Not the very first one, but it just shows how old they were and where they are now. When and where video games were created, they were created in 1958 in New York, and that's just really where everything came together and the just the heart and the growth of the video games. Sourced by history.com editors. Who invented video games? William Higginbotham was an American physicist, and he was the one who created the first video game. It is called Tennis for Two. It was a very simple game, and it was the first one, just the very beginning, the start to everything. Sourced by Federation of American Scientists. Why were video games created in the first place? They were basically created to just have fun. William wanted to show that science is not all about war and destruction, because he used to be in a group making nuclear bombs and all that stuff. And he wanted to just show that science doesn't have to be like that. It can be happy, it can be fun, it doesn't have to be destructful. The first simple games were created on the mini computers, as you can see on the bottom right here, and it's just super cool, sorted by history.com editors. Let's talk about the equipment. Just from looking at these two pictures, we can see how on the left, this is what we have now, and on the right is what was one of the first ones. It just shows the extreme growth in technology, and just it's crazy to me. Two, the equipment. First video game equipment created. On the top right, we can see in the modern video game equipment on the bottom right, sort of sourced by Terry Amick. First video game equipment ever created. It created in 1948. It was called a cathode ray tube amusement device. You can see that on the top right here. It almost looks like a military scanner or something like that. And then on the bottom, we have the Nimrod computer, which was just a huge docking system that just was controlled by the small computer in the front. Sourced by Peter Takas. Video game equipment we use now. A lot of people use their phones, their computers, you can see in the middle right here, or consoles on the bottom right. There's a very just vast options you can use while playing video games. It's not just one thing, and the technical growth is just crazy to me. Sourced by Richard Zwusa. Let's get into the competitive side of video games. There's a lot to get into about this, and a lot of marketing, sales, viewings, competitions in video games. The biggest people that put on competitive video games are esports and professional gamers that they hire to play. Here we have on the right XQC. He used to be a video game streamer, but now he does a lot of streaming on Twitch, and that is also another way that people are making money off of video games. Sourced by What Are Esports? Esports. So one of the top games that people compete in is League of Legends. And on the top right here, I have a graph of the viewers and marketing count. So in 2016, there were 280 million viewers, and now in 2022, we have 600 million viewers. So that just shows the business and the sales that are just crazy in the video game industry. South Korea was originally the place where esports was created. They noticed that their viewers and marketing in regular sports were decreasing while viewers and marketing in video games were increasing. So they made a huge shift from streaming real sports to video games, and it was just a huge start to esports. Sourced by What Are Esports? Professional gamers, we'll be talking about their salary. They make a lot of money in many different ways, from winning the competition, from streaming, from doing ads. Faker right here on the left side is one of the most known competitive video gamers. He is on a lot of teams. He does solos and housing. A lot of what the teams do is that they'll combine money, or the team will buy a house for the players to live in, and they'll take care of them, give them jobs, and make sure they have a place to live. Sourced by Karen Livy and Kyle Russell. Wrapping it up here. Conclusion, we talked about the history of video games, the equipment, and the competitions. Really just the evolution of what it's become into now from what it started as. Do you like to play games? So thank you so much for watching and listening to my presentation. And this is my sources cited page. So thank you so much.